Hi, what's up? I'm back. I'm very unshaven. I apologize. Here we have my next review, which is BIT.TRIP RUNNER. And what I remember about this video is not a lot. I remember that I didn't finish the game or get anywhere close to finishing the game before making the review. And it's funny because as the review goes on, as the game goes on, the levels sort of change color heaps and look very different towards the end of the game. But because I never got past like the very first world in the game or whatever, the entire review is very obviously just set in the first level. As usual, you shouldn't review games without at least finishing them. I probably only played like 1 or 2 hours of this. But anyway, let's watch.
This is BIT.
Already that intro went for way longer than it probably should have. Like, we just sat on this screen for a good 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds just sitting on a press any button screen. And then, you know, the audio cuts into static and gets really quiet.
This is BIT.TRIP RUNNER for the PC, and this game is really hard. Either that or I'm just awful at it, probably the latter. You play as a character who's apparently named Commander Video, and as he or she runs through each level, you get to slide, jump, or kick your way under, over, or through obstacles, all while collecting gold blocks for points.
So far, so good, whatever, but the audio is far louder than it should be, like... while I'm talking, the audio is too loud, and then while it transitions back to me not talking, it's like extremely loud.
The controls are good, the learning curve...
I love how I fell off the edge there. It almost looks like it was meant to be a joke, like the hard cut. It's like, don't look at this. But yeah, just watching this gameplay, it's reminding me that this game's actually kind of fun, and I should probably play more of it. Like, it's a really simple endless runner, but it kind of just like, it's very groovy, and the music kind of plays as you play, and you know, as you touch things, piano notes play, and it blends in with the music. It's really cool.
curve is also pretty good, and as I said, it's pretty difficult, but in a good way. It's always your own fault when you lose, sort of like in Demon's Souls or Super Meat Boy. There are lots of levels to play, each with their own bonus level if you collect all the gold pieces.
Yeah, the only real problem so far is that it's super loud. I'm just kind of saying info about the game. Yeah. It's another really long stretch of gameplay, but it isn't as annoying in this video compared to other videos, partly because this video is only 2 minutes 35 long. But the game's just so like pleasant to listen to and watch that it blends in a little better.
At its core, all you do in this game is time button presses, but it has a lot of charm on its side.
The sort of stretches, like the difference between my audio in this video and my audio in current videos, aside from the volume stuff, is like, you can hear me taking decent breaths between talking, which isn't a bad thing, like it's a stylistic thing, but these days it's just interesting to note that I go through my audio and I can kind of tell just on the like visual representation in Audacity of what my audio is. I can kind of tell what the breaths are, and I just go through and delete them and re-listen to make sure it all sounds right. But here I leave them in. And to me it sounds like there's awkward pauses, but you know, it's not as bad. I'm my own worst critic.
It has really cool retro graphics and absolutely amazing music, which is expected from the BIT.TRIP series. It feels much like an old 80s platformer, and I say that in the best way possible.
Like, visually it feels like an 80s platformer, but gameplay-wise I wouldn't. Kind of. I wonder if that was the end of my review. Let's find out.
Overall, if you like the look of this game and don't mind a challenge, then I definitely recommend this game. It's a fun, challenging little game, and I love how you can compare your score with your Steam friends on the leaderboards. BIT.TRIP Runner was released in February 2011 by Gaijin Games for PC.
Oops, accidentally clicked something. Accidentally clicked my own video. That wasn't too bad. I feel like if I watched that review, I'd at least have somewhat of a vibe of what the game is like. I think the main problem with it is that I only really played like the first world. Like in the later levels, the levels look different, like they get darker and all the colors change, but I only played the very first bit and decided to make a review, which again, you should never do. Now we're still in 2012, it's October of 2012. No comments, 47 views, 3 likes. Where do we place this? Medal of Honor Airborne, it's okay. It's, I think quite obviously this is in between Medal of Honor Airborne and Kane & Lynch. BIT.TRIP Runner review. Now, BIT.TRIP Runner was kind of a big series. Like, it wasn't a big series, but there was many games in the series. And yeah, there's our current ranking. This is the second best review I've ever made. It's exceptionally simple. I didn't say anything that was particularly wrong or bad, but I guess there's not a lot to say about BIT.TRIP Runner. So this isn't a game I would ever think to review today, because it's not interesting enough to say anything about it beyond just like, oh, it's really like cathartic and visceral and very, very simple, endless runner. And the music's amazing and the graphics are cool and it just has a good vibe. Like, that's kind of all I said in this review, and I don't think that's interesting enough to warrant a complete video about it these days. And clearly, judging by the 47 views it got in like all these years, it probably didn't warrant a review back then either, because it's just so simple. You can kind of play it for 1 second and be like, oh yeah, I get what this game is. So now when I think about videos, I try and at least justify their existence. But yeah, that's BIT.TRIP Runner review. Let's find out what I'm reviewing next. Interestingly, I have recorded this entire series before. I did 5 videos at once. I recorded and then didn't like the videos and re-recorded them, like I said back at the start of this. So now we've done 5 episodes of this. So this will all be fresh content that I literally haven't seen in years. And up next we have Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, followed by Serious Sam 2, and Homefront, which I believe is a pretty big one. So I'm looking forward to doing Homefront, because at least I finished the game before reviewing it and I recorded the whole thing at once, and I remember putting a lot more effort into it, because as you can see, it's like a lot longer. It's coming in at 7 minutes, which makes it my second longest video at the time, but definitely my biggest script, because the first Kane & Lynch game had so much just dead air. But yeah, otherwise, as usual, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for subscribing to Patreon. We're doing really well on Patreon. I'm really impressed. I'm like impressed by myself. I'm just surprised by how well it's doing. Not that, like, I don't know. I'm happy. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm getting my words mixed up, but yeah, otherwise, take it easy. Thanks for watching. Bye.